for spending your Tuesday evening with us here on HAPS, the Network of Now. Joining me this evening, live from beautiful, scenic Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to our good friend, a great broadcaster, a man who's overcome so many obstacles to become the amazing person who he is today to this day. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to my right, your left, or depending on what kind of tablet you're looking at or whatnot. Say hi to Tim Conrad, everybody.
Hello. How are you, Jim? I'm doing all right.
Great seeing you. Great seeing you. Thank you so much for spending your Tuesday evening with us. This is, last week it was loud, but now it's give it up for my posse. There we go. The crickets are with me. Where's Issa Betancourt when you need her, you know? So thank you so much for jumping on tonight, Tim. I've been meaning to have you on forever. And I know this is kind of the chill, relaxed, under the twilight of the northwest suburbs of Chicago edition of this program. Once we get into the summertime or the fall and think, oh, there goes my air conditioner's off now, too. We're competing with the air conditioner. You can hear me now. Only thing missing is a lawnmower, a chainsaw, a bunch of screaming kids.
Yeah.
Wait, that will be coming soon. What's up, Bri? What's going on? So, Tim, thanks for jumping on. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Good. And for years, I have seen you on my cast. I'm just glad that you're broadcasting live now. And the focus tonight, guys, is mental health. And that's how we met so many amazing people on this platform. And Tim is just one in a continuing series of people who have overcome so many obstacles in his life. And not only has he overcome some of these obstacles that we're going to talk about tonight, he's helping you guys take those first steps as far as overcoming stress, anxiety, depression, addictions, dependency, things like that. The codependency thing is going to be, we're going to help unleash that and focus on self-love, self-determination, shutting everybody else out and focusing on your health and well-being. Hello, Gemma. How are you? Hi, Darby. Hi, Hannah. Hello, replay viewers. And don't forget, after our show tonight, it's the season premiere, season 2 of the Beardo and Weirdo Extravaganza. This is kind of the pregame before we get on with Blaine and Piano Man tonight. So they'll be fun. I cannot wait for them to jump on. Hello, Belle in Arkansas. And YC Arky. What's good? What's going on? How the heck are you, my friend? And guys, big ups to Belle for all the stuff that she is doing over there in the 5 boroughs, for all of those. She's right in the trenches, day in and day out. She's behind that desk doing paperwork and everything and facilitating it, making it happen. So thank you for all you do, Val. Great seeing you. So, Tim, enough of my yapping. Let's talk about you here. Hello, TJ. So, Tim, let's do this, because like I said, normally in the fall, I usually have like a script of like questions I prepare, and I just say, here you go, here you go, here you go, have at it. But tonight, it's going to be Improvisation 101. And so, Tim, tell us about, have you lived on the East Coast your whole life? Tell us about your upbringing.
Yeah, I born and raised here in Frederick, Maryland. Not a whole lot really exciting about the childhood or anything. It was a good childhood.
Cool.
Went through, all my grade school and everything right here in Frederick.
Nice.
Never had any of the having to move around kind of stuff. My dad was actually a career firefighter in Montgomery County, Maryland.
So that's where it came from. For those who don't know,
yeah,
also a firefighter.
I am second generation. I kind of grew up in a firehouse, so to speak. And that's all I ever wanted to do.
That is so awesome. Watching your father, I mean, what was that like, being in a firehouse, with all of the guys and, in big situations like that? I mean, for many years on my program, we've always thanked all of the first responders, policemen, firefighters, EMTs, and all the men in the military and everything. But you guys as firefighters, yourself, your father, your friends, and people that you've known forever, What's it like growing up in a firehouse like that? What that type of environment?
It was something. It was pretty neat. My dad had a very similar schedule to what I have now. We're on 24 hours every shift, and then we get 48 hours off. So every 3 days, we're in there for 24 hours on call.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd love to go and visit him at the station and always see the trucks. I could never get enough of it.
How do you how do you work for 24 hours? I mean, you, nurses, doctors, I mean, first responders, how do you do
So
it? How do you maintain?
so I get a bed and I get to sleep. We do get to go to bed at after 9 o'clock p.m. We can go to bed. We still have to get up if there's a call or anything. But I've got it's usually just ambulance calls and whatnot overnight.
Oh, okay.
So I've got enough. I've got enough time on now that I'm getting to sleep. The rookies are handling the ambulance duty for the most part.
Okay, gotcha. So in other words, you do. I mean, you're on call. If the alarm goes off, you jump up, you go into the truck, and you have at it. But
Yep.
you do so because one of my friends who played softball with me, um, he's a firefighter up on the North Shore here in the city or up north Chicago, up towards Highland Park in that area,
Mm-hmm.
and he speaks of those long days too, where he may get woken up out of bed at 1, 2 in the morning, but he is up till 7, 8 in the morning on location, writing up the reports and everything like that. So, how do you adjust to the unpredictability of those hours?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's a day to day thing because you never know. That's one of the things I love about the job itself is I get up and go to work. I have no idea what I'm about to get into for the next 24 hours.
Right,
So
right,
I just did a 48-hour shift. Well, I worked 24 hours of overtime, and
right.
then I worked my shift. And I came home and I slept a good bit of the day here at home. So
Okay.
I mean, I make up for it when I can. If we are up all night, it's just part of the job, and you'll get home and get to your bed eventually. You just
Wow.
keep telling yourself that it's almost over.
I mean, it's just like it's got to be very stressful and a lot of anxiety that goes with that. And but to you and all the great firefighters out there, the policemen, the EMTs, the first responders, the docs, the nurses, everybody, thank you so much for all you guys do, and yourself included, Tim. And if you're just jumping into the room, welcome to the JS Live Summer Concert and Summer Interview Series. Tonight we have gone into interview mode here. That is the Catalyst Swing over there. Right underneath me is the Catalyst Fire Pit. We will be live tomorrow night with an all new edition of our Fire Pit known as Catalyst Wednesday here on half. So join us there. And there is Patty talking about somebody who is very proficient in the world of mental health as far as the crisis text line that she's manning up over there. Big shouts and big ups to Patty over there in beautiful, scenic Las Vegas. Hope you're doing well. And Bo's in here hanging out. Gemma's in here. And guys, make sure you check out Tim and Gemma. Subscribe to Tim Conrad as well as Gemma right there. Those two host arguably one of the most informative, down to earth, no holds barred mental health programs here on HAPS. Tim, tell us a little bit about how the mental health program came to fruition.
Well, that's a fun story. So I've been following most of you guys from the Periscope days. I never actually went live on Periscope.
Right.
Um, I kind of used it as just a time killer, watching different videos and what have you,
Yeah.
like TikTok almost, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but uh, once Periscope closed down and most of us come over to Haps, it just looked so much more enticing to hit that go live button, as you always say.
Right.
And yeah, you were one of the driving forces, actually. Uh, I believe the night before I was thinking about doing it, I was on Catalyst. I'm like, Jim, I think I'm going to do it.
You've got to go live. You got to do
um,
it. Exactly.
so, I mean, the whole time I was thinking, what can I bring to the platform? I don't want to just copy everybody, what I want to bring something new. And I never see a lot of, true talk about this mental health awareness and, everything. And I had a pretty rough year. If you've been following our broadcasts, I had a pretty rough year last year.
Yes.
So I've got this wealth of knowledge now on all things mental health, and I know exactly what works for me. And it's actually a part of the 12th step of AA. Having had a spiritual awakening, we now go forth and share our story, experience strength and hope with others on their journey. So it's kind of a little 12th step work uh, at the same time. So I wanted to build a program that could be informative. Is about something I'm passionate about. All these topics that we talk about are in some way, shape, or form have helped me to have a successful year and some change now of sobriety and to get back onto a good path in life.
Yeah, I mean this is what you and Gemma do on Wednesday nights is a breath of fresh air. I mean, you're not showing feet or bobs. At least I hope you're not. but I tried that and it didn't work. But although
Yeah,
I've gained a full cup size since COVID, but that's besides the fact. But in most seriousness, though, I mean, I think what you're doing, what Lucia's doing, Sassy Nay, as well as Ed, Gentle Giant over in New York, they are uh, pillars. They are pretty much the brick and mortar of the mental health movement here on HAPS, and I think we need more of that.
absolutely, absolutely. I actually, when I hit go live the first time, I just called it Mental Health Hour, and that's stuck. And then I just put pilot because I didn't know if it was going to catch, if it was going to.
Right.
So I just got on there and no script, no nothing, just started telling my story.
Right.
Like kind of an introduction to who is Tim Conrad and why is he talking about mental health and why should we listen to him talk about mental health. And it actually caught the eye of a lot of people that first episode. And Lucia was one of them from the HAPS team. And
Yep.
she also does a great mental health broadcast called Be Kind to Your Mind. And
Yep.
she asked me if I would come on. She was revamping her mental health broadcast. So she asked me if I'd come on episode 1 and, share my story and talk.
Oh wow! So you're on with Lucia?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is awesome. I love her. She's amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. She gets obviously a good bit of viewers, so that's
Yeah.
even more that we're passing this message along to. And
Yes.
she's very passionate about mental health awareness as well. As she's had some struggles in her life. And the story with Gemma joining me was Gemma she always jokes and laughs that she was unable to sleep. Look, she's up now and it's what 2-3 o'clock in the morning over there.
Or 4. Wait.
But it was
3 in the morning.
Yeah,
3:30. Come on, Gemma.
it was
Chicago. And I'm wearing short sleeve shirts today.
she caught me live on Lucia's broadcast, and ever since that broadcast we started messaging back and forth. She wanted to help. She's very passionate about this as well, as you've seen.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I brought her on to do kind of what I did with Lucia's broadcast, and she came on and told her story. And I mean, there was just a click there, and I asked her if she would come on permanent as co-host because it definitely helps when you're broadcasting a show on these topics to have a second person there to banter back and forth with, to bounce the mic to if you need to look some stuff up or whatever. You know how it is. So Gemma's been on the past 5 or 6 episodes now, and it's been great.
Absolutely amazing show too. Every Wednesday evening here at 6 Eastern. Is that right? 6 Eastern on
Yes, 6 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. This week we're doing Thursday.
Oh, a special Thursday edition.
Yeah, I have to work tomorrow, but
Okay.
also Gemma had some surgery, so she's
Yeah,
recuperating.
I know. Well, our prayers go out to Gemma. I mean, I've known her for a couple of years, and she is a sweetheart. She's absolutely amazing. And what a better co-host. Talking about how Peter and Pablo here on HAPS always encourage collaborations. And Helen Wallace on her show, she goes, collaboration time. But this is a classic example, guys, of how two people hours apart, halfway across the pond or all the way across the pond, have a common bond, and they have a great friendship working now, thanks to a live streaming platform like this and everything like that. So, what an honor and a privilege to have you and Gemma contributing this type of content, especially mental health, something especially in this day and age. We need more of it, and you two have both been in the trenches, and um, if I could, because we mentioned your show that's coming up, I
Hmm.
also want you to maybe step back a little bit, and you kind of touched upon um, talking to Lucia about why you created the mental health program. So I want, if it's okay with you, Tim, if you want to share with us, for those who didn't watch the first broadcast of mental health, first of all, subscribe to Tim Conrad, everybody here. But if you could, Tim, tell our audience a little bit about your story and your struggles and where you are today.
Absolutely. So last year, uh, I went to work a shift of overtime at my station, um, and I started having these horrible pains in my side. My left side, mid flank, and it kind of radiated down. I'm like, man, what is this? I mean, it was some bad pain, and I hadn't experienced anything like that before. So I was asking some of the guys. I'm like, what do you think this could be? They're like, have you ever had kidney stones? I'm like, no. And they're like, you might have kidney stones. You better go get a scan. So I actually left work that day
Yeah.
and went straight to the hospital. And they scanned my midsection
Yeah.
all along, telling me they think it's kidney stones too. Well, they come back with the news that I have pancreatitis,
Oh,
chronic.
geez.
I had jumped past the initial acute pancreatitis. There's different stages of it. I'm all the way at chronic pancreatitis with necrosis, which means I've killed 10% of my pancreas
Oh my
from
God.
drinking.
And how
Um,
long did this pain hurt? Was it just that day, and it just flipped on?
so there was always a little bit of pain here and there,
Okay.
but nothing that steady and nothing that severe.
Okay.
Just that day, it started really attacking me.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, long story short, there I spent 11 days in the hospital,
Oh my God.
and to
Brutal.
treat pancreatitis, I mean they can't fix what I've done. The damage is there forever, but
Right.
to get my body back to normal, you have to completely come off anything that you ingest. You can't eat, you can't drink. I couldn't even have ice chips. Um, for 8 days like that. So they just had me on a slow drip of IV fluids and painkillers because it was so severe.
God.
And so anyway, fast forward, I got home, got out of the hospital with the news that you can never drink again, or this is going to keep happening, and you're going to die. You will die. There's no doubt about it.
Oh my God.
And so that was fine and well for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I started testing the waters again and started missing it, and so back to full on binge drinking I went. And
Oh crap. It was binge drinking too, huh?
yeah, well, it became binge drinking then because now I'm trying to hide it as well.
Yeah.
And
Trying to
um,
go at it fast without getting someone catching you or something.
yeah, because now everybody's aware of what's going on, and
Right.
nobody wants to see me killing myself. But so I wound up back in the hospital, and that's when I melted down and basically said I need to address this. I need help. I was in tears. Um, it was a real come to Jesus moment. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, pretty
With
much.
with myself, and so after they squared me away in the hospital again after another 8 days, I was checked into a uh, inpatient rehab facility right here in Maryland, in Prince George's County, um, for firefighters. So it's run by our union,
Yeah.
actually. So that was really cool that it's all firefighters and such. And I spent 44 days down there learning all of this stuff about mental health and learning really about myself,
Oh wow.
and what I had going on, with PTSD and severe depression. Actually, I classified in extreme depression, um,
Yeah.
and of course, anxiety and alcoholism.
I was just gonna say, alcoholism, at least for many people, is attributed because of the inability of, at least, when I used to really go ape crazy, it was just not knowing how to manage stress and anxiety, or I was insecure with myself, so I would use
Mm-hmm.
that as a mask to kind of, like a
Mm-hmm.
painkiller, and it
Yeah.
would come back and bite me in the, later. Is that something like what happened to you in this case, or
Um,
like stress and anxiety, or
yeah, like
me too?
I would definitely drink to mask the depression without really knowing that's what I was doing, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, and all along, I just thought I was blessed with this high tolerance, and I was the one that could start drinking early, and uh, I'll still be up when everybody's going to bed. What's wrong with you guys? Well, really, it was what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until down at rehab. But the best way I could describe alcohol to, like you, for example, is I've heard you on your broadcast several times.
Yeah.
Somebody comments, "Hey, what are you drinking tonight?" And you're like,
Oh.
nothing tonight. I got work tomorrow." And see,
Yeah. I'm
that was
watching.
just
I'm like,
never a thing for
water.
me. Yeah, that was just never a thing for me. I was always
Oh
drinking.
crap.
So,
Yeah, that's pretty serious. That's just like God. And Patty makes a good point too here. Numbing can be numbing the pain is common for first responders, which leads to this question: you're a firefighter. You are a firefighter that is in a situation where it's you're seeing loss on a regular basis, whether it be a house burning down or someone having a life threatening or a death experience or near death experience every day. Was the alcohol attributing because of what you were doing as far as trying to, because of what, as far as the trauma that comes with being a first responder?
yeah, so partly,
Okay.
definitely when I went into the trauma group, which is really where I did a bulk of the work down there to try and better myself, is
Yeah.
processing all these traumas, and they can be anything from personal to childhood stuff to these bad calls that we run, and
Right.
I certainly had a few calls that I can remember from like 10, 12 years ago as if they were yesterday. And that's all a part of it being a traumatic experience, is that it never gets filed away. It's always in the now. So that's why you can remember things as if it was just yesterday. But my drinking earlier on I was married once before,
Okay.
and my drinking caused that divorce, or at least that's what I was telling myself. I was a failure. I failed at marriage. I
Oh,
can't,
so it's one of those talking to yourself, self deprivation.
yeah, I got,
Yeah.
and so that was another significant trauma in my life that I never really processed correctly
Got it.
until going down there. So
Got it.
the trauma group down there was amazing. My hats off to those counselors down there that deal with these trauma groups. That they're amazing. They are mind wizards, um, and they really they really can open your brain up and dig down deeper than what's there. It's crazy.
That is something. Now, you talk about the trauma people. Was this a part of your group that you were with, pretty much, that helped you out, get out from those moments of despair and uncertainty?
Yes, the trauma group was part of the rehab program. So when I was down at rehab, we got the standard group therapy and group dynamic class setting. Let's learn about mindfulness. Let's learn about relaxation. Let's learn about anger management. But then for an hour and a half every day, we broke off and went into a very intimate locked door, just five of you. What happens here, what you hear here stays right here. And that's where you do like some very intense therapy, trauma processing. It basically allows you to take these traumas that you can't get rid of or that seemingly don't go away,
Right.
and you process them correctly through a line of what they call Socratic questioning,
Okay.
Socrates, um, and yeah, they basically use a template like this and ask the right questions. I mean, they're amazing at what they do. Like I said, mind wizards. Um, uh, just really was able to get a grip on what was ailing my brain, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
and process it finally, and kind of move it so it's not always in the now, to filed away, and uh, that really helped get my head back on track.
Now, if you guys are just jumping into the room, welcome to JS Live, our weekly summer interview series here on the Catalyst Patio. I'm Jim from the northwest suburbs of Chicago, being joined this evening by the amazing Tim Conrad. He hosts a mental health program every Wednesday, except this week we have a special Thursday edition of the Mental Health Hour with Tim and co-host Gemma. Gemma's in the comments field, so please say hi to her. Subscribe to both Tim as well as Gemma if you could. And Lucia's in the room. She also hosts a mental health program, and make sure you subscribe to her as well. She's a part of the HAPS leadership team, and she, like Tim and Gemma, have overcome so many obstacles to be the empowering people that they are today. So, Tim, back to your story here. You were mentioning these trauma people, these counselors, and they had this Socratic process of trying to, like a step by step process of trying to get you, out of that funk that you were in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still, I would imagine, a day to day battle and everything. But um, was it like, how many sessions were there with these trauma specialists?
So I started about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks into my stay at rehab. I started
Okay.
in the trauma group because they kind of put you through what they call trauma prep,
Okay.
where you fill out, a packet, and they basically weed in and out who needs to be in trauma group and who just needs like help with substance abuse or anger management. Maybe not so much in the specific trauma processing. Um, so yeah, I made it into that group with flying colors, as they said, and uh, started every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Um, they did trauma group, and it was for an hour and a half from 10:30 to lunch at noon, and that was my group. There was five of us in there. Like I said, very intimate setting, locked door, and this is where you get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so I ran that for the rest of the length of my stay.
Wow. And how long was the stay in total? Like, how many? Was it weeks, months? How long was that?
44 days.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Wow. And that is just. I mean, first of all, obviously, you almost had you truly had a life-threatening situation physically with your pancreas and
mm-hmm.
everything, and it's sad when it takes something like that to kind of create an awakening. I mean, you went through difficulties with your first marriage, and but to piecemeal and get your life together to become the person that you are today. Obviously, those 44 days weren't the only thing that set you on the right course. Obviously, a lot of it had to do with your up here and in here. How did you, as Tim Conrad, make yourself and convince yourself that, I've got to just stop cold turkey and I want to live and I want to fulfill my life and help others?
Uh, so yeah, first I'll go back to the rehab thing. That was I always tell everybody that asks a similar question. Like, rehab was 100% the right decision for me. Now, it might not be for everybody, but this was 100% the right option for me because, as I've mentioned on my show and several times before, I don't think I would be as successful for this past year and some change now without that groundwork. That was like the foundation and it really what I needed to catapult forward when I got home and out of the protective bubble that they give you there, um, to keep going with it. Now, obviously, being home, I started working the 12 steps of AA,
Yeah.
and I attend meetings regularly. Um, do peer support groups. I continue with outpatient counseling through the center. I'm doing a number of things still today. Um, some of it has kind of trickled off as I get more time under my belt, but there's never a shortage of AA meetings if I ever need anything like that. They're always going on. So, and with Zoom these days, thanks to the pandemic, they've really perfected the art of um, casting AA meetings. So I can literally hop on a meeting in California right now if I needed to. Like, there's always something going on.
So they have like a Zoom room or a Teams room, or they may have something on other live streaming platforms where you can just jump on and get the help that you need or the support that you need.
Yeah,
That's
there's
awesome.
usually there's usually a Zoom meeting going on. The AA groups themselves have purchased whatever you do with Zoom. I don't own a Zoom account or myself, but
Yeah.
they purchase the phone number or whatever, and then they simulcast their meetings online. Now that we're back to going in person, uh, they're still doing the online aspect as well because not everybody's ready to get back out there yet. So
That is something. And by the way, if you're just jumping into the room, welcome aboard. I do this every Tuesday for the most part. JS Live, it's our summer interview series tonight. No music. We switch between concerts and interviews tonight. We have Tim Conrad with us. Thanking everybody in the comments field for all the great interaction, proving once again that HAPS Unity is indeed community. Next week on our program, we are going to have Sassy Nay, Thunder Crew alumni, Sassy Nay from Sacramento, California. She's a leukemia survivor. We're going to hear her story. And we're also going to chat with Gentle Giant. That's Ed over there in New York. We're going to have Sassy and Ed on the J&E show I believe, every Thursday evening as well here on HAPS. We're going to be talking about Sassy's fight with leukemia. I can relate with that with my daughter being a leukemia survivor. And then Ed, who's going through diabetes right now and a lot of other obstacles that he's overcome. They'll be next Tuesday here on the summer interview series here on JS Live. That will be on at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And don't forget, this fall, it is the return of JS Live, the late night Talkin' Friday program. I think softball's moving back to Tuesdays, which means that this show will end once it's already getting dark earlier here in Chicago. We're going to switch gears and we're going to make our way over to Thursday nights again with Chris Rossetti as well as Jay Forsyth and our normal cast of usual suspects. So join us this fall for that, as well as football and more here on HAPS. So we're here with Tim Conrad. Tim, so back to your story here. Um, so you went through all this and everything like that, and then, I mean, so tell everybody in our audience how many years you've been sober now, or how long you've been sober.
so it's been just a little over a year now. June 16th, 2020 is my Sobriety Date. Um, so yeah,
Congratulations.
I just celebrated a year, and we're coming up on a year and 2 months. So keeping going strong, and actually I attribute um, the continued success to a number of things, but this HAPS platform has actually been a great support network as well.
Big time.
I know we've talked about it before, how cool it is you can get on and just talk with like Gemma in the UK and
Yeah.
like Beta and Bo on the West Coast. Um, it's just crazy that we can now have all these connections that I probably would have never had before. Um, all the folks that hopped in on my first broadcast that have really stuck around, and now we're like just real good friends, and it's awesome. It's a great support network, and even if you're feeling down, one day you can always hop on. Oh, it's Wednesday. Let's get on Catalyst, or yeah,
Plugging that fire pit cast, huh?
yeah. Let's see
You
what
talking
those.
about fire pits over there tomorrow night at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific? Okay.
No, that's actually become. I told you last week. I'm like, what a night Wednesdays have become. You got Gemma and I at 6 o'clock Eastern. Then Lucia normally goes on at 7 Eastern, and then we round the evening off with Catalyst. We all decompress around the fire pit.
Thank you. Like I said, it's you guys are the ones that make these broadcasts possible. That's what makes doing the fire pit and getting everything all set up out there. That's what makes it fly, and it's our community here. You don't see my mug; you just see the fire pit, and sometimes a moon, and you'll hear crickets tomorrow night. Like you're going to start hearing crickets here in a little bit. But definitely thank you to Tim and Gemma, guys. And if you are not subscribing to Tim Conrad or Gemma, who's in Commonsfield, please do so. And Lucia's in here too, so make sure you check her out too. She also does an outstanding mental health broadcast. She had Beta Ashley on. She had a couple of others too. Um, Definitely, truly personifies what HAPS is all about. And when we say HAPS, unity is community.
Yeah, and Gemma sent me over that. That thing. I uploaded it in there now. I haven't seen it, so we can watch it together.
Yeah, well, I gave you and Gemma director capability. So definitely, if you have the ability of playing the video, you can upload it and then
It's uploaded.
All right. Well, tell you what, you just you here take the steering wheel and drive.
Yeah, you want me to drive?
Have at it. I gave you director capabilities.
All right, let me see if I can figure this out here. Hold on.
And like I said, this is very raw and improvisational. So, like I said, it's not, oh my God, I just effed up on Jim's cast. And well, Jim sets that up. I want to remind you guys, after us at the top of the hour, the season premiere of Beardo and Weirdo. This is kind of the pregame for Blaine and for Piano Man. So, Blaine and Wilson are on tonight. I'm sure Gemma will be there and a cast of thousands.
Gemma needs to go to bed.
Gemma needs to go to bed. That's true. So,
all right, you ready?
No pressure. Here we go, guys. Check this out. Or how about you set us up, Tim? Set us up for the video. There we go.
Radical acceptance is knowing that drinking alcohol will kill you, and then making a decision based off of that.
You have to realize what it is. Like, if you did something and you have to do something to change that, do that and move on from it. Otherwise, like you say, you'll just drive yourself mad.
When I got on the phone, she had told me that he had OD'd from fentanyl that night, and she had found him in the morning on his bed with his lips blue.
There you go. Very nice. That was awesome.
Hey.
Nicely done, Gemma and Tim.
Yeah, that looked good, Gemma. That was awesome.
Well done.
And Bo making a guest appearance.
Yeah, that is definitely good. Thank you so much for sharing that video, and that just that says it all right there, guys. I mean, I think right now, and Tim and I talked about this before we went live tonight. I think the fact is that it's something that I like. I said, there's a lot of these, like a lot of stories like Tim's and Gemma's and others here on Haps. And I sound like a skipping record. Sometimes I talk about this on Catalyst also on Wednesdays, but there are instances where, while I can't directly relate to what each of you are going through, the important thing we need to do is, as far as outsiders looking in, is to pull back a little bit, to listen, to learn, and to support. And by listening to like what Tim and Gemma do, and I know a lot of others in this room have demons as well that they're trying to fight off. I got to be a better listener. And I think we all need to be better listeners, especially in this day and age with all the uncertainty in the world nowadays. Rather than being judgmental and jumping to conclusions, exercise the 24-hour rule, and be compassionate, listen, learn, and support in everything here. And that is the key thing here. And Tim, what was that like? I mean, because I know you're getting a very warm welcome and warm reception here, but when you were trying to fight these demons on your end, weren't you getting kind of flack and bullied and all that?
You know what? I can honestly say I was never bullied. I never caught any crap from any of my coworkers or anything like that. Like that was all in my head. That I was going to come back and I was going to be this, complete failure, complete, waste of space. That ran through my head many times down at the rehab center. And, as I worked the program down there and, got closer to our graduation of rehab and got closer and closer to coming home, I kind of just was like, this is me. This is the cards I was dealt. This is what I have to live with now. And I'm going to embrace it. I'm not going to be ashamed of it. It's just like any other diagnosis, that you can come up with. So, if you can get diagnosed with anything, you still have to live with that. And why worry and be ashamed of it and put yourself through that negative mindset for even longer? You already have been all these years masking this depression and what have you, and hiding your drinking, even though you don't have a problem, and yada, 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 and lying and covering up and everything. And I was like, you know what? I've had enough of this, and this is me. And it may actually be helpful for me to, come on and talk about this, and maybe it'll reach the ears of somebody that really needs to hear it and understand that you're not alone, and that we're out here just like you. Everybody's in the trenches every day, and everybody is dealt different cards in life, and these are mine, and you got to own them. And I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm a better person for what I have gone through, and I look forward to continuing to spread any kind of awareness that I can, or hopefully help somebody get over that hump, that proverbial hump of, I need help, but I don't want the backlash. I don't want to know what's going to happen on the other side. Just know when you make it over there, everything is great. Everything is going to be fine. If you get a troll, that means their life is, if not in more shambles than your own. So just reach out. That's the biggest message I have. Reach out for help. Stop trying to hide behind who you are, and stop worrying about what everybody else thinks of you, because you really gotta, it's really going to intensify the negative in your life.
Yeah, that's just something where you were probably, were you in a process where you were sitting there and kind of doing negative role playing where you're analyzing and reanalyzing and trying to play out a worst case scenario every step that you took? That must have been exhausting on you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that was my life for 15 years. Um, of course, I didn't really think much of it then because it was normal for me. This was normal life, and you know, now that I've reached out, gotten the help I needed, and come back without any, um, worry over what people are going to say, what people are going to think. I come back. It's kind of like I think of when you're getting bullied at school.
Right.
You always hear one of the best ways to fight off a bully is to just not care what they are saying. Yeah, whatever.
Right.
That's fine. Yeah, I am such and such, whatever. That doesn't bother me. And then they'll back down because you're no fun to pick on. It's when you let people get into your head that they really drive the nail home.
To them.
Yeah. So just don't be ashamed of who you are and don't be afraid.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we have about less than 10 minutes left. Coming up at the top of the hour, guys, we have the it's the Piano Man Show. Sans Blaine. Thank you to Hannah for the update. I appreciate that. And this is JS Live, the Late Night Talk. Actually, the summer interview series. And I was also noticing in the comments field, Lucia does her mental health show. And Lucia, please feel free to plug and promote your mental health program tomorrow as well, please. Because I think the more we get this message out, great people like Tim, people like Gemma, like Lucia, and a lot of you in this community, the more we get this out, the more awareness we create. And you can be like Tim here and not sit there and worry about what everyone's thinking about you or looking over your shoulder like it's some kind of a peer pressure thing. Tim has cleared those obstacles, and he is, he's being very transparent here, and that's what we need from each and every one of us, to have a clear mind and a clear conscience and an open heart to realize that, hey, this stuff is going down in our minds. We need to talk about it. As Bo said, we need to express ourselves. We need to be on the open and mention this stuff. So that is the key thing here. And so here it is a year later. Here we are in 2021, and you've turned the corner now. And I mean, there's still got to be, are there still struggles to this day that are demons that you're still trying to battle today?
Absolutely. It's a 100% work in progress. I never want to call the battle won, if you will. It's still a very real part of my life. Just the other day I was thinking, oh, I wonder if I could get away with just one. And that's just, you can't think that way. You can't think that way because
Right.
I know it's not going to be just one. So, I mean, definitely there's still, it's still a real thing. It's the battle's never over. So I'll be doing this for years to come, God willing. And, I'll continue spreading the word for as long as people keep watching. And yeah, that's actually, it's a real therapeutic thing in and of itself. To get on and do these broadcasts. I love having people on my show, and I love doing my show, but then I also love being asked to come on shows like this, because it drives home to me that there are people that want to listen to this information and hear this kind of stuff. So it's great.
So we have about 5 minutes left in this program, and then at the top of the hour, it'll be Piano Man and company on the program here in about, it's not there, 5 minutes or so. So I would imagine that somebody in this room right now, or someone who's watching this replay, is going to be another Tim Conrad who's in that situation where it could be a life-threatening situation, where it could be something physical. Maybe it's something that's affecting a marriage or a friendship or somebody in your family that you know. There may be another Tim out there. So,
You got carolers?
those are that's my family going, Daddy, Daddy. That's my wife and daughter, Ashley and Mama. Hi guys, we're on Haps. Hi guys. You come on in and say hi. No, my neighbors are over there. They're all going to my neighbor's house. Anyway, so thanks for. I'm squirreling. You're squirreling. Anyway, I digress. So, how do you tell like if someone jumps on your show tomorrow night or on Thursday night rather with Gemma, and is in that same predicament? I mean, how do you start? How do you tell them that we're here to support you? Where do you begin? What are the building blocks to for setting building that relationship and getting them in the right direction?
It all starts, I think, with what you said earlier. You were talking about just listening. I want to bring people in, and anytime I ask anybody if they want to come on or what have you, I try and remember to express that we keep this a safe place to share. Like I can't do anything about the occasional troll or whatever, but like I said, who's really worried about them? They're obviously having fun. Let them have their fun. But I mean, on Gemma and I's show, it is a safe space to come in, let some stuff off your chest. Basically, I'll have people on that know more about certain topics that than I do, just because I don't know everything. There's so much material. I said it before on somebody's broadcast. I feel like a jack of all trades, master of none. Like I don't really take forte in any particular part of the mental health. Maybe substance abuse. I guess I could throw my hat in that ring, the substance abuse thing. But just bringing people in and listening to them. We also hear when I got back from the rehab center, my union vice president came to me and a couple of other folks that have been to the center to start a peer support program for the first responders, so that they have a place to at least come and vent or do, a place to start. And what we do there, we tell them we're not trained therapists. We are here to listen, and we are here to link you to the appropriate help that you desire or we think you could possibly benefit from. Having been down this road, I can listen to one of my brothers or sisters and say, I think you could use a little trauma processing therapy. And we have this great office right in downtown Frederick that I can get you hooked up with. And so it's kind of a starting place there. It's that whole look, listen, and link.
Right. That is just I just love hearing this story with yours. And in closing really quick here, Tim, I'm telling you right now, thank you so much for sharing your story. You are loved by your family. You are loved by friends. You are loved by your coworkers. And you are certainly going to be looked up on by peers who are going to be turning to you for guidance and direction. But most importantly, you are loved by all of us here in the HAPS community, and I imagine all of their streaming platforms. So, and this is an example for all of you guys out there. When you think you're alone, when you're desolate, when you feel like everyone's ganging up on you, when your mind starts playing tricks on you, when you feel like you're going like this, looking over your shoulder, look at Tim. He was in that same boat as you guys, and he has the courage, the strength, and the, to come on here tonight, share his story, and he does this every week here on HAPS as well. Tim, if you could one more time, please plug and promote your program with Gemma, please.
Oh, sure. Usually it's every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. across the country. We take a different topic in mental health each week, and we discuss it. We have guests on. We kind of break it down. Like this week coming up, we're doing a Thursday broadcast because that's how it shook out this week. But normally it's Wednesdays. This week we're doing our first episode on PTSD. So
Oh wow,
that is a very, very broad spectrum topic. So we are it's going to be a multi-episode broadcast on PTSD. This is going to be PTSD 1, the basics. We're just going to break down what is PTSD and how do you come about with a diagnosis like that. And, later on down a month from now or whatever, we'll do another PTSD broadcast and go from there.
that is a huge topic, and you're gonna have to get a huge net to throw around that one and reel on in. So that's gonna be a big one, guys. So make sure you check out that PTSD episode coming up Thursday with Tim and Gemma. It's a multi-part series here on HAPS. So make sure you check that out. And in closing, Tim, thank you so much for taking your time out of your schedule to join me this evening out here on now what has become the dark twilight. Well, the twilight's gone too. Apparently, the sun's setting earlier now. Here on Tuesday night, here on our live summer interview series.
The mosquito-ridden Catalyst porch, or no?
Not yet. No. Tomorrow night we're saving the mosquitoes for tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Feel them a little bit out here. But,
yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me, and I'll come on JS Live anytime you need a guest. I'm always
have you back on when we do our fall season.
Awesome.
A little bit more short and sweet. This is like an hour-long block, but the summer one or when we start doing the late night one, we'll definitely have you on board too.
I'll get a Chris Rossetti opening.
Yeah, that's the thing. Tim, I will admit, this is the dark side. Someone can let me know when Wilson goes live when it's their show. That would help. I'll just cut off then. But I know we're running past 10 o'clock Eastern here. Tim was asking me to have Chris Rossetti do the introduction for Tim. So here's my motivation to get Tim to come back and be a guest on my program for when we do the late night talk.
Absolutely. I'll be back in a heartbeat.
Thursdays. I will have Chris Rossetti custom do Mr. Velvet pipes. This week's guests will include from Maryland, Tim Conrad. I'll do one of those.
He does a good job.
I don't know. They're cutting down a tree or something over there. I'm kind of curious what they're doing at 9 o'clock.
Oh, more wood for the fireplace.
I was just going to say, bring it. Bring it. We need more fire for the fire pit. I haven't spent $1 on wood this year. That's the best part. So, bam.
I would also like to say I am just absolutely terrible at doing lives and reading comments. So I always go back. Excuse me. I always go back.
Yeah.
And I reread all the comments. So I'll see what you wrote. So Bo doesn't think I'm ignoring him or what have you.
I know, we love Bo. And Bo, we have to get Bo points on Saturday trivia. That's the thing is, if we get some Bo to get up on the leaderboard on our trivia Saturdays, and then our mission will be accomplished.
All righty.
All right, well, I'm going to shut this baby down.
All right, thank you.
Tim, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to thank each and every one of you in our virtual studio audience for joining me outside here on the Catalyst patio, where it's clear and 74 degrees outside. Tomorrow night, we dim the lights. The fire will be lit. Join us for the Catalyst Fire Pit tomorrow night. Catalyst Wednesdays, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. It's you, the stars, and a warm fire pit. No moon tomorrow night, unfortunately. So join us for a nice way to kind of break the monotony of the work week. Kick back, turn off the television, mute the news feed on your Twitter account, and join us right over there about 15 feet where I'm sitting tomorrow night. 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, over most of this HAPS network. So, thank you to Gemma, thank you to Lucia, thank you to Tim, thank you to all of you viewers out there, live viewers and our replay viewers. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Till next time, on behalf of Mr. Tim Conrad, this is Jim from the northwest suburbs of Chicago, bidding you a very pleasant good evening. Oh, that's right. I froze up, guys. That would be like the cold ending, but my phone froze up. So this is where it gets really ugly. You see the camera shake, and I have to literally make the alarm go off on my phone. This is what happens when HAPS freezes up on my phone. Look at this. There we go.